G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching the Wildkard Rugby Show. As always, it is my pleasure and privilege to talk about the greatest game in the world, rugby. And yes, I know, our game is in trouble, our game is dying in one of the biggest weeks of rugby championship. Rugby Pass, which is partly owned by World Rugby, put out 4 articles about Luis-Zammit. Every now and then I see one, I'm just like, whatever, I'm not going to click on it. But 4 articles in one of the most important weeks in rugby championship on one guy who plays NFL, a sport that is completely irrelevant in our part of the world. This needs to stop. I am sick and tired of World Rugby promoting another sport and trying to change the law because our sport is dying. I am sick of it. And I need every one of you to do your part for this community that we love, or otherwise it's gonna be slowly, surely chipping away by the morons at World Rugby. Okay? 4 articles in 1 week about Luis-Zammit, and it's just the preseason. It's gonna be all Luis-Zammit when the actual season comes around. So we need to stop. We need everyone to just sign up. You can log in with your Gmail, right? And just go every time you see one of these about Luis-Zammit, right? Just tell them exactly what you think about it, right? This is already my comment, right? Let's do another one, okay? A lot of guys are already unhappy already, right? Who cares, right? Just make sure they know that this needs to stop, okay? Yep, just tell them to get on a job. If they love NRL's rugby, if they love American football so much, tell them to get on a job, okay? Just make sure these people know that we are no longer tolerating this absolute garbage of another sport trying to wiggle themselves and try to steal more of our talents and weaken our product, our game, okay? So, just nicely, right? Please, F off and go watch American football, right? Just make sure they do this, guys. It's really important for our community. We have to fight back. This is just, enough is enough. We have to make sure that they know. This is another one here, all right? This is another one. So, yeah, we just have to make sure. Just let them know we rugby fans are sick of this garbage. Please F off, right? Just please make sure you tell them, okay? And you don't even have to enter a new password. All you have to do, if you have a Gmail, and I think you can probably log in with Apple Mail, whatever else you got, just click on it, and then you get logged in immediately, and you don't have to change your password or anything, and you can immediately let them know that this needs to stop, and as a community, we have to protect our sport. Enough is enough, okay? We have to protect our sport, or it's gonna go down the drain faster than you can think of, okay? Before it's too late, let these absolute idiots know, right? We are no longer tolerable for this. And now, I'm gonna get a little bit more angry. So obviously, there's been law changes about rugby, you know, line out not straight. If you don't challenge, we can just play on. You know, some of those laws, yeah, okay, whatever, right? Line out not straight. I've seen the frustration in Australian rugby, and that is from Australian rugby, okay? I'm not gonna bash too much about it, but there was this one here where the halfback is no longer be contested. I was wondering, where did this come from, right? Is it from France? Is it because Antoine Dupont is a golden boy? That's what I thought in my mind, and I would like to apologize. It's nothing to do with Antoine Dupont. It is actually from Major League Rugby in the USA. World Rugby is taking law trials from a fucking country that didn't even make into the Rugby World Cup. And you wonder why the fucking sport is dying? And you wonder why all the fans are leaving in droves? Who the fuck came up with this to adopt a law from a competition that is dying faster than A dolphin beached on the beach. A whale parked on the beach. And they thought, yeah, the league is dying in America, right? Let's take their failed law changes and implement it in the rest of the fucking world. Unbelievable. Let's talk about something more cheery, right? Rugby World Rankings after the disastrous loss, right? The Springboks B team is currently still ranked higher than Ireland, right? And luckily for Australia, we have still maintained top 10. So good news for the Aussies. No one's moved at all on the weekend. And yes, let's talk about the Springboks squad with the big match coming up in just 2 weeks' time against the mighty All Blacks. Yes, the mighty All Blacks is coming. The Black Plague is coming, and Rassie Erasmus has made a few changes with recording a few players. Steven Kitov, Jaden Hendrickson, and Kana Moody are back from injury, and also the back from suspension, Jasper Wiese and the big boy Andre Esterhuizen has been added into the squad. Okay, so let's have a look at the Springbok team. Let me just breathe a little bit. I need to calm down a little bit, okay? Let's just talk about the Springboks team and let's talk about who's in, who's out, who's got the privilege to be in the squad to potentially play against the Rugby Wildkard rematch against the mighty All Blacks. Mighty All Blacks. And guess which team I'm supporting, guys? Now, let's have a look at the props. Thomas Dutoy comes in. Stephen Kitov, Kitsy, gets added in the group. Vincent Koch, Frans Malherbe retains, and Ox Nche will be retaining. Gerhard Stinnekamp, Jan Hendricks, Vessel will be finishing off in the props. In the hookers now, Malcolm Marks and Bungi Mbonabi. And I guess Marco van Staden will be the third hooker if should things go wrong. Locks, Eben Nesbeth, Saman Morat, Ruan Nokia, Ahia Sneeman, Nicolas Jans van Rensburg. I think I got this right. Moving on. The loose forwards, Ben Jason Dixon. It's English, okay? I can read this. Ben Jason Dixon, Peter Step Dutoy, Sia Khaleesi, Al Reich Lowe, Albertus Smith, Marco van Staden, and Jasper Wiese. Scrum halves, 3 scrum halves for the Springboks: Jaden Hendrickson, Kobus Reinach, and Grant Williams. Grant Williams. Coming in for the scrum halves. Fly halves, Sacha Fangberg, Ngomezulu, Mane Lebok, and Andre Pollard. Centers, Lukangu Damien De Linda, Andre Esterhuizen, and Jesse Creel. And outside backs, Kurdi Adensa, Apa Lele Farsi, Cheslin Kobe, Willie LaRue, and Makuzolo Mapimpi, and finally, Kana Moody. I think I got most of their names correct, okay? Okay, don't smash me too hard if I pronounced any of these names wrong, okay? I'm trying. Now, let's move on to the mighty All Blacks. Oh, look. It's the Damien McKenzie in a chessboard. This must be the chess club jersey. Look at that. Anyway, so the All Blacks also have the team announced that will be traveling to South Africa. A couple of changes due to injuries. So Patrick Tupulotu still out and Stephen Perifetta still out for the All Blacks. But no major injuries coming out of this Argentinian game. Ethan de Groot is back in the squad. So yeah, we'll be looking to see if he's going to be playing at all against the Springboks. So coming in the hookers now, Osafa Aomua, Cody Taylor, and George Bell. Props, Ethan I Am Groot, Tyrell Lomax, Fletcher Newell, Pasilio Tossi, Ofa Tuanga Fassi, and Tamati Williams. Locks, Scotty Barrett, Sam Darrell, Josh Lord, and Tupou Vai. Would be interesting to see if they're actually going to start Scotty, considering how good Vai and Sam Darrell has done for the All Blacks. So Scotty might not actually get to start, despite being the captain. Loose forwards, Ethan Blackadder, Sam Kane, Sam Penny Finau, Luke Jacobson, Dalton Papali'i, Adi Savea, and Wallace Satiti, right? And in the back line now, we've got Noah Hotham, TJ Piranara, Cortez Ratama, Bowden Barrett coming in at 5'8", Damien McKenzie. In the midfield, we've got Geordie Barrett, David Havili, Riku Uwani, Anton Leonard-Brown, Billy Proctor. In the outside backs, we've got Caleb Clark, Will Jordan, Ruben Love, Harry Plummer, Severin Reece, and Mark Talea. The one guy that I was actually wondering, a lot of you guys have been talking about in the comment section as well, Caleb Clark. I would like to see him at some point move to center, maybe outside center. And yeah, inside center or outside center. And, you know, really take over the legacy that his daddy left from the All Blacks jersey. And just really, that would be a great day to see that, you know, Caleb Clark don that number. What is that? Was it that number 13? I think that was number 13. Don that his dad's former number 13 jersey as a center. But yeah, he looked so big on the weekend against he looked pretty big the whole season, but he looks just so big in that winger position against Argentina on the weekend, and it's just in such a fine form right now, and I think that the All Blacks can exploit that just a little bit. So yes, get your chessboards, guys. Really nice merchandise for the All Blacks. Next up, we've got the Wallabies going to Argentina. So a few injuries, obviously, a few people has been called in as a result of the injury. So let's go through a few, especially the big one is inside center position. Hunter Paisami is out, so they have added in David Fili-Uai, who plays for the Melbourne Rebels uncapped. Now there's a little bit interesting selection here because there has been, obviously, let's go through this guy. Lalakai Foketi, I thought he might be injured. I looked it up. I don't think he's injured, but let me know if he actually is injured. He did play in the final game for the Waratahs, so I can't find anything of him being injured, but yeah, let me know what is happening with him. Am I missing something with this guy? Why is he not selected for the number 12 jersey? Speaking of 12 as well, this guy, Tamati Tua, I don't know if he qualifies for the Wallabies, but again, another guy that Rugby Australia has let overseas. I'm pretty sure he's born in New Zealand, but I think if he stays in Australia for a certain amount of time, he will be allowed to play for the Wallabies because he played for the New Zealand under-20s team, but he hasn't played for the national team. So he, you know, if he chooses, I think he can qualify for a visa, but he's gone overseas as well because, you know, Rugby Australia don't know how to handle any of that. And yeah, so this is David Fili-Uai, who played for the Rebels, just in case you don't know what it looks like. And yeah, so Tua is gone. I thought he had a pretty good season for the Brumbies. And yeah, so let's go through the Wallaby squad. And you know, obviously there was a lot of injury issues with the four pack on the weekend, the uncontested scrum. But yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. So yeah, the Wallaby squad going into Argentina: Alan Alatoa, Angus Bell. I'm glad to say that both of these guys are right. Angus Blythe, George Keenan, Matt Fazler, Nick Frost, Langi Gleeson, Tom Hooper, Isaac Kailea, Josh Naser, Brendan Payanga Amosa, a guy that's just been added into the team, which is really nice to see. Tom Robertson also added a new addition to the Wallaby squad. Lukum Salakai Loto for the prop position as well. So Tom Robertson is quite a apparently he's got apparently he's going to Oxford or something. He's like apparently really smart. Jem Slipper, Carlo Tazzano, Tanella Tupou, Rob Valentini, Jeremy Williams, and Harry Wilson. So Tupou is back into the squad. His dad passed away, so he wasn't able. He was like away in Tonga, sorting that out. So yeah, it's good to see that he's back in the squad and sort that out. Bit of family issue there. Backline, we've got Ben Donaldson, David Fili-Uai, Josh Fluke, Jake Gordon, Lenny Katau, Max Jorgensen, Andrew Callaway, Marika Corambetti, still the only overseas player that is in the Wallaby squad. Noah Lolosio, Tom Liner, Tate McDermott, Dylan Peach, Hamish Stewart, Corey Toole, Nick White, and finally Tom Wright. And a huge list of injured unavailables. Yeah, it is what it is. And we've already talked about this, and let's just move on to the big game on the weekend, Wallabies versus Springboks. I thought this was a bit of a disgrace from the Wallabies. To be fair, I spoke to, you know, my post-match raw review. I thought, you know, the uncontested scrum was a bit was really a bit of a disgrace to rugby, and also I thought the Wallabies potentially cheated a little bit because the law is that if you go to uncontested scrum, unless it's for an HIA, you have to lose a player. So Wallabies did have, you know, players go off because of HIA, but that's not the issue that I had. The issue I had is at one point the Wallabies substituted off. The law says you must have 3 front rowers for an uncontested scrum, just in case you don't put on a bunch of flankers and take advantage of that. So at one point, Wallabies actually substituted off Josh Naser for Sevu Uru, and that has led to basically a breach of the laws, in my opinion, because you basically put on an extra lock and taking off a front rower, which made your pack a little bit faster and more nimble. And there was only 2 front rowers left. And the whole idea originally, the fact that you have to lose a play if you go to uncontested scrum, unless it's for HRA or like or if the player got injured because the opposition did a foul play on you. I thought that means that the fact that you can't field 3 front rowers and you put on a lock, I thought maybe the law needs to be looked at for the team to be penalized and lose a player because they can't field out 3 front rowers, right? So they legitimately was able to go to uncontested scrum without losing a player, but once that happens, you still have to maintain 3 front rowers, right? If you can't do that, I think you have to end up losing a player because I thought there was a bit of a loophole, to say at least, that was exploited a little bit by the Wallabies there. Well, with that being said, I thought the Wallabies didn't really play much with a game plan other than just kicking for goals. Some of you guys were saying that because it's rainy, if you're a world-class team like the All Blacks, they would never blame the rain for not able to handling the ball. In fact, the All Blacks play pretty much with no issues, as we saw earlier in the evening against Argentina in the rain. Argentina had very few issues. So in fact, the Springboks scored 4 tries despite the rain, so we really can't blame the rain for that. And in fact, I thought, I had a bit of an Instagram rant about this as well. You can actually work out the how many points you're gonna score with just kicking goals by just looking at how many penalties on average the Springboks gives out and your goal kicker's percentage. So you can actually work out how many points you're gonna score against how many points the Springboks gonna score by just kicking goals, and you can actually tell ahead of time that the Wallabies are pretty far behind in that game plan. So they had to come up with something more than just kicking for goals if they actually wanted to beat the Springboks, which I thought was really strange that they didn't have anything else planned outside of that. And for the Springboks, congratulations, beating one again. Ha 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 ha. Well done, perfect tank. Yada yada yada. Moving on, right? Now in the other game, we talked about Hunter Basama's injury. In the other game, the All Blacks versus Argentina, like we talked about, really big play at Eden Park. Argentina was under the pumps the whole for the 40 minutes or so. The one issue for the All Blacks is obviously the bench came off in the second half and was not able to score any, they scored a try in the first minute and not able to score any more points for 39 minutes. So they won the game, 42 points to what, to 10 or something, 42 points to something, right? A big win for the All Blacks, but that's something that you probably need to look at. And there was also people talking about having 4 open side flankers on the field. I thought this was quite funny because, we know that Richie McCaw has shoes size 16, but I didn't know you need 4 people to fill that shoe, but hey, it is what it is. The All Blacks are looking for a bit of a difference in the game plan, and maybe this is how they're going to go about having faster players at the breakdown, having faster, more nimble players around the field, and they're going to try take that to the advantage, especially if if they wanted to match the Springboks, the bomb squad. They need a bit more nimbleness, a bit more fitness for themselves as well. So for the All Blacks as well, Samuel Penny now signs an extension for the Chiefs. A really good season so far, and it's signed to 2026. And let's have a look at the reason for Josh Nasa was taken off, just in case you were wondering, was because he was cramping. So it's not a HRA. You can't take people off for cramping. You're like, ordinarily, if you did this substitution, if one of your front rowers is cramping and you've taken them off for a lock, that would have. And if that initiates, that's not allowed, first of all. And if you do that, and that initiates uncontested scrum, you would lose another player. So the fact that it's already uncontested scrum, you shouldn't be allowed to do this just because the scrum is already uncontested and not suffer a 1-player penalty, right? So 1 player, you have to take a player off to play with 14 players, right? So that's something that was a little bit interesting. So obviously, big game, big win on the weekend. Ebenezer Sia Khaleesi walked out. Durek Duplessis. This was a pretty good fight. I've got a review on my channel. I'm a bit rusty on UFC. I haven't watched it for many years, consistently for many years. I used to watch it religiously. Some of you guys say, I didn't know what I was talking about. If I did sound like I didn't know what I was talking about, I am a bit rusty. I have to admit that. So yeah, I'll try to look into a bit more, and I look forward if Robert Wildkard fights Duplessis. Anyway, if Robert Whittaker indeed was gonna get on fighting him, it would be really good, and we're gonna have a good time watching that. And finally, Andrew Mehrtens is looking at buying into a French Pro D2 club. So Pro D2 is basically like the second division of the French team, and they're still a professional team. They're like, you know, they do have the contest for a relegation into the top 14. So it's not really like completely terrible as you know, as you may imagine. And yeah, and I'm just surprised that Andrew Mehrtens is that rich. To be honest, he's able to buy a Pro D2 club. I know that he's been in France doing some commentary, I think. And yeah, good luck, Mr. Mehrtens, and hopefully you do something good there for the French public. And yeah, anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video. That's pretty much the news this week, and we'll have the previews coming up next week. I'm gonna try to get my website up and running before that. So yeah, we've got a developer working on that, and he's going on holiday or something, right? Freelancers, am I right, guys? So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully he gets back and get that website up and running before next week, and you have the player stats and everything for the lineup before the game. And yeah, and you can use that as a reference and take that into your viewing assistance. And yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week for more rugby. Cheers.